I want to say this publicly. Thank you, Randy Harris, for the connection you made to the Guillen family. You reached out and asked a favor for on behalf of the family. Their son.
You can tell the story.
Okay. So Vanessa Guillen was murdered on Fort Hood. She was an active soldier, military. She was being sexually assaulted. She reported it and was killed for it to kind of cover it up. The legislation that got passed, the Vanessa Guillen Act, is also a Netflix documentary that just got nominated for an Emmy Award. And the family is based in Houston, Texas. And there's Vanessa's real-life brother, is 18 years old, has been struggling, with depression and just the tragedy of losing his older sister. And he wants to get into MMA and wants to train. So because he's in Houston, and Yves Edwards is the UFC legend, Randy reached out and asked if...
That's my guy. We say, and I hate using the word, and I've always said this, and I'll let you get back to it. And I don't need any of that, whatever. I was happy to do it. But, I hate the brother thing. You're like a brother. You're my brother. We're all brothers. We're all brothers until something comes up and it pisses you off and you're no longer brothers, right? I hate that terminology. But Yves Edwards is like my brother. He's like my son because he's that much younger. Love the guy to death. You reached out to me and you said, hey, I know that we've had some people on from the Houston area. Can you do this? And I said jokingly, why don't you let me decide who I call?
Yeah.
Because I called Yves, and let me tell you how long Yves thought before he answered me. A quarter of a second.
Yeah.
And he was honored that we reached out, that I reached out, and he said he'd be more than happy to do it. We all said the Woodlands because that's where, Yves lived and that's where he had the gym.
Yeah.
And I said, wherever your gym is, if you'd be willing to do this, we'll make it happen. And it's honestly, and I'll say it to you and I'll say it publicly what I said, if this young man wants to do it, he'll come to you.
Sure.
And he said, well, we're kind of out of the way. We're in downtown Houston. Yeah. Which you said that's basically where they are.
10 minutes away.
Right.
So Manuel Guillen, he will be a part of this process. Thanks to you for making that connection. And it's just great to see that the MMA,
they are big on that.
Community, they really do get involved. They really do care. And to get behind this, I'm appreciative and grateful. All jokes aside, you guys really stepped up, and it's huge.
For sure. And I've always said, and again, all jokes aside, when you go into a gym like that, and I'm sure there's other gyms, but I'm just the MMA gyms that I've been involved in, and it's only been a few, but it has been a few. It is that close knit. When I went to Rio and hung out with David Vieira, and we went to the gym every day, and it was a night gym in a school that they let him have a classroom, and then we'd all go out to eat after, and just that bonding and just that. It does a lot of good things. I mean, my two grandkids are in an MMA gym. And Yves said, absolutely, I'd be more than happy to. I thanked him for it. And I just love the dude to death. And I was very happy that he has the time to do it.
For sure.
And he'll make time.
For sure.
And so I gave Yves the info, the number. I'll follow up, make sure that it gets done. And,
absolutely.
Hopefully I'll get out to Houston. I even told Yves that I would come. I'd love to come when the Bucks play the Texans. That's the week before you and I go to New York for John Jones Stipe.
Yeah.
So stop whining,
I'm
baby.
back in good graces. No, okay, so
well, you're not in the good graces.
But not all jokes aside, though. I mean, the best part about our relationship is that you allow me to cherry pick the good events, and I get to go to the Super Bowl, and I get to go to New York, and I get to go to the places I want to go, and then I let Steve go and do the other stuff. So I appreciate you, Randy. You are great. He doesn't have time to go. He started a new window company recently.
Well, now he's hawking credit cards.
Yeah, well, you have to finance windows. They're expensive, right? Can't you see your future, Randy? Just look right through that.
What are you talking about?
The credit card.